I drew the short straw this week to speak after Mawinnie. I address you today on behalf of the Progressive Unionist Party. 3 months ago this evening, our friends and brethren from Ligonene Lodges were prevented by a Parades Commission determination for completing their traditional 12th of July return march through Woodvale. The implications of this decision are far-reaching and still being played out. Let's not forget, this is an annual parade that is processed along the Crumlin Road, returning to the Orange Hall in Ligonene over 120 years. It is a tradition we will not lose. It is important to state categorically and at its simplest level that this is a civil and human rights issue. Our friends and brethren are being robbed of their basic civil and human rights. Freedom of culture and expression and the right to return home safely. In response to this, we have the ongoing protests, now 3 months old, organised by the Committee of the Civil Rights Camp on Tweddale Avenue. The stated aim of those involved in the Civil Rights Camp is to ensure the basic rights of the Protestant and Loyalist communities are being realised. However, while the Parades Commission continues to give up to the threat of violence from Republicans who feel nothing but hatred for our culture and traditions, and who have no respect for the civil and human rights of others, then our basic rights cannot be met. In seeking to realise the legitimate rights of the Loyalists and Protestant community, the Civil Rights Camp has 2 key objectives. 1, to see the current Parades Commission removed from office, and 2, to see the 3 lodges and bands from Ligonene return completely their 12th of July home. First objective has been achieved with last week's announcement by the Secretary of State that a recruitment process is being launched to replace the current Parades Commission with 5 new members. How representative this new commission will be remains to be seen. Again, we need to be clear about this. The current situation has been precipitated by the increasingly aggressive and negative attitudes of the Parades Commission towards Orange culture and traditions. They put the threat of violence from Republicans before the rights of British citizens. At best, the Parades Commission can be accused of weakness, naivety and misunderstanding of our culture and traditions. At worst, and history tells us to fear the worst, it has implemented a comprehensive and sinister strategy to undermine our community based on bigotry and hatred of its own members. We are glad it has been replaced. However, while we can hope for a more impartial commission, again, history tells us to fear the worst. I argue that our first stated objective should be go further, the total removal from the legislation of the right of an unelected body to decide what is legitimate for freedom of expression. In a modern parliamentary democracy, it is the right that an unelected body, alongside the threat of violence from Sinn Féin and those associated with the IRA, should be allowed to limit the rights and cultures and freedoms of our citizens of the United Kingdom. The Parades Commission must go in its entirety. New members are not enough. However, in the meantime, our community can take comfort that through the dedication and commitment of all those at the Civil Rights Camp and those who attend the daily protests, that we have ensured that our current Parades Commission is consigned to history books where they belong. I will return to the second objective in a moment. Last Saturday, our friend Billy Mawinnie stated that the ordinary working people in Ardoyne have no problem with the parades going past in the morning and returning in the afternoon. Like those in our communities, they have many other things to deal with in their daily lives, such as poverty and unemployment. Rather than working to support those in their own community nationalist resonance groups are being manipulated by Sinn Féin into using the parading issue to appease the malcontents within the ranks of militant republicanism. Rather than succumb to the worst elements of republicanism, nationalism, the ordinary people living in national communities need to stand up to those Republicans who are intent on further destabilising our communities through agitation and return to violence. It is no coincidence that each of those who have headed up these so-called resistance groups and agitating against Protestant culture and faith are associated with the IRA. This street agitation by Republicans has become an extension of the IRA's attempt to drive our British presence from Ulster.
Never.
The IRA has despicably been aided and abetted by the Parades Commission, who, thanks to the dedicated action of our community, is no longer able to wage their vindictive and unjustified agenda against the Orange culture and traditions. This is a battle we have won. Let us remind the IRA and its supporters of this. We, the Loyalist people of Northern Ireland, are British. Presence in Northern Ireland has been the British presence in Northern Ireland for 40 years. And 40 years of terrorism has never broken our spirit, and neither will another 40 years. You cannot and will not defeat us. The days of Republicans bullying and threatening political parties with militant republicanism and the threat of terror and violence are being brought to book. The Progressive Unionist Party will not bend the knee to bully boy tactics or the threat of Republican violence. Instead, we will work to ensure that we safeguard the rights of all our citizens in Northern Ireland. This includes the rights of citizens to celebrate their culture and identity, regardless of their creed or cultural background. In the best of British traditions, we are guided by justice, fairness, toleration, and by welcoming and respecting the people of our cultures who live on these islands. Our British values and principles allow for freedom of culture and religious expression. Our British heritage, culture and loyalty have seen us through the toughest of times in the past. They will also see us through as we build a stronger, more prosperous Northern Ireland, in which all cultures are respected as having something to contribute. Let us return now to the civil rights camp and the achievements of the second objective, ensuring that our friends and brethren from Ligoneel lodges and bands are able to return home to the site of their Orange Hall, burned to the ground by the hatred of Republicans and their supporters. In the coming weeks, you will see our campaign grow in strength and resolve. I want to be clear, our brethren will return home. Jerry Kelly will not dictate where the loyal orders walk. The Parades Commission will not dictate where the loyal orders walk. And the brethren of the Ligoneel lodges will walk home. In its best efforts to resolve the current impasse, those at the Civil Rights Camp announced the Twadell Initiative. Yet the impasse continues. Why? Because Republicans and their friends at the Parades Commission could not even bring themselves to allow the parade to pass peacefully and quietly on a Saturday morning. Hatred prevailed and dialogue was shunned. The Twadell Initiative represents a real way forward and offers the only credible solution. The Crumlin Road is a shared road and a main arterial route and a public road that belongs to no one. The PUP rejects any notion that any of the loyal orders need to seek the consent of Republicans to use the Crumlin Road, or any other road for that matter. The PUP will stand with the people and for the people. Let me make this pledge to you all here today. The loyal orders have never asked and never will ask Republicans for permission to express their culture. Our party has never asked permission of Republicans to use the Crumlin Road, and we never will. Instead, What we ask for, indeed all we ask for, is toleration of our Orange heritage and respect for our culture. Sinn Féin and the IRA need to get off the backs of the community on the Crumlin Road and let the ordinary people get back to a peaceful normality. With peaceful normality, we can all further and inspire towards one in which the culture and are tolerated and respected by all. No surrender.